Season reminding one San Antonio family their loved one won't be part of the celebration. 21-year-old Steven Cerna was shot and killed back in February in a ditch on the city's west side. As the 19th Stephanie Cerna reports, his family and police have not given up hope that the killer will be caught.
The execution-style murder of Steven Cerna would remain unsolved for years. It grew attention everywhere after being branded the Hell's Gate murder. So just how did this case end up eventually solved, and why was Steven Cerna killed in the first place? Let's find out. The Lone Star State, Texas, cowboys on cowboys on cowboys, a booming economy, no state tax, and little to no unemployment. Some might call it heaven on earth.
Welcome to heaven, motherfuckers.
But if you venture into San Antonio, more specifically a west side drainage ditch in the 1100 block of Shadwell, you ain't gonna find Heaven's Gate, you'll find Hell's Gate. Now that's an anticlimax, unless of course you're a Satanist, whatever floats your boat. Unfortunately for you Playboy Carti listening Satanists who recently transitioned to the dark side, Hell's Gate will not actually take you to the underworld to see Lucifer himself. No. So why the fuck is it called Hell's Gate then? Here's some Texas history. Hell's Gate is a sheer break in the cliffs that surround the Possum Kingdom Lake. Yes, Possum Kingdom. It gets this somewhat unorthodox name from a 1990 song fittingly titled, yes, that's right, you guessed it, Possum Kingdom by the Toadies. I prefer Loch Ness, not gonna lie. Hell's Gate, which is accompanied alongside Devil Island, fittingly, is the result of the convergence of Powell Creek and the Brazos River, and there's an interesting legend about how the name was born. This is the legend of Hell's Gate as told by Kevin D. Van Duser in his book Possum Kingdom, Journal, Volume 1. Back before the white man had total control of the Texas frontier, two fur traders were making their way down the headwaters of the Brazos. Their pack animals were loaded down with trinkets and rot-gut whiskey to use as barter in case they met up with any friendly Indians with a thirst for firewater and an eye for breads and mirrors. On the first day of a rainy spell, they came upon an encampment of friendly Comanches who had an ample supply of deer meat and smoked buffalo and were eager to do some trading. After several days of bartering, the two traders noticed that the best furs were in the Indians' pile. Being perfect shysters, the traders decided it was time to give up complimentary samples of whiskey to the Indians. Late that night, all members of the tribe had passed out and were sleeping it off while the traders slowly and quietly loaded up the Indians' fur on their pack burros and headed south down the Brazos. They had gone only a few miles when a burro broke his leg. Another burro had then had to carry a double load and soon gave out. Finally, the last burro, so heavily burdened, lost his footing and fell into the canyon below and perished. By this time, the traders realised that the Indians they had stolen from would be sober enough to come after them to reclaim the furs and scalp them alive. Smoke signals could be seen from a short distance, and the traders knew that the Indians would be closing in for the kill. They finally reached a point in the Brazos where high limestone bluffs were divided by a small creek, forming a natural rock gateway to the river. Thinking only of saving his own hide, one of the traders threw down his heavy load of stolen furs and made his way up the high cliff. The other trader, however, was so stubborn and mean that he swore he would go through the gates of hell before he would allow the savages to retrieve their furs. The band of enraged Indians finally caught up with the traders and finished them both off with a shower of arrows. Henceforth, that point on, the Brazos became known as Hell's Gate. On the 1100 block of Shadwell, a drainage ditch there was too, named Hell's Gate by locals. I guess they're kinda the same, just on a much smaller scale. They both carry water, and that's about it in terms of similarities. It was here in their own Hell's Gate that the body of Steven Cerna would be found on the 10th of February 2015, shot twice in the face and twice in the neck. These 4 gunshots caused quite the commotion, and surrounding neighbours phoned the police here. They didn't just hear gunshots, they saw 2 Hispanic males between the ages of 19 and 20 running from the ditch into a maroon coloured car with a broken windshield that was parked on the side of the street and fucking booting it out of there. The police of course spoke to witnesses, got details and got them to describe who they seen to the best of their abilities and so on and so forth. Someone who was identified as a person of interest was a certain Robert Martinez. Robert Martinez was certainly a person of interest. He fitted the description given by witnesses, Hispanic and between the ages of 19 and 20, but that's all it ever was, a person of interest, nothing more, nothing less. No arrests were ever made, he was free as a bird. Well, that was up until 2 years went past.
The man who prosecutors say held the key to solving a cold case murder testified today in the trial of the accused killer. His testimony included a chilling account of what's been called the Hell's Gate murder. Paul Venema now with who that witness is and how the prosecution got him to talk.
22-year-old Robert Martinez can only listen as his uncle, 31-year-old Larry Isaac, tells of a phone conversation the two had. It was just days after the body of 21-year-old Steven Cerna was found in this drainage ditch known as Hell's Gate. Isaac asked Martinez to put Cerna on the phone.
He couldn't come to the phone. I was like, why? He's like, because he can't. He's in the dirt or something like that.
He said what?
He's in the dirt.
He said that he initially suspected another man had killed Cerna. Martinez's admission, he said, caught him by surprise.
I just didn't want to hear that he did it. I pretty much was trying to get the answer that Chasm did it. But he denied it and said he did it.
As for a motive, Isaac repeated what prosecutors have said all along, that it was a retaliation hit.
I guess one of the victim's cousin had killed his best friend.
Isaac said Martinez told how he lured Cerna into the ditch with a promise to make some drug money.
They walked through the ditch. There's houses right there. And that's when he takes his aim shot and fires at him. And he slumps over and then he does one shot at him.
Now I apologise if you couldn't make out whatever bro was mumbling about, so I'll break it down for you here. 2 years after the murder of Steven Cerna, the uncle of Robert Martinez, Larry Isaac, was arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping, and boy did his ass snitch. Not as compadres in the aggravated kidnapping case, fuck all that. He chose to rat out his own nephew in a completely unrelated cold case, the murder of Steven Cerna. Shit, don't trust anyone, not even your own shadow. If you decipher whatever shit he was spilling at trial, he basically tells that his nephew, Martinez, told him he killed Steven Cerna because he learned that Cerna's cousin had killed his friend. Martinez wanted revenge and made a cunning plan to lure him into the ditch, enticing him with drugs and money before shooting him twice, in the neck and in the face. Isaac also testified that prior to the murder, Martinez had been known to carry the strap with him, not just any old strap, a .38 caliber firearm. And what did he know? The caliber bullet used to kill Cerna was indeed a .38 caliber. As I say, if the shoe. And for ratting on his own nephew, Isaac received a lesser sentence of 9 years in comparison to 20. The killing was essentially what Martinez saw as an eye for an eye killing, except Steven Cerna was totally innocent. It was his cousin who had apparently killed Martinez's friend, not him. If he was a gangster, he should have solved his problems with him directly. After debating for 90 minutes, Martinez was sentenced to 99 years in prison. And there you have it, Hell's Gate's murder. It's my shortest video to date, but I've got big things planned. Being busy at work's made me realise how much I love making videos like this and giving you my subs what you want to see. Take care, I'll see you in the next one.